No one dared to stop him. Era and Ethan didn't return until late that night. Khloe was already asleep. The Quan and Lee families had pulled some strings behind the scenes. Mr. Lee was charged with attempted assault, which would get him a month in jail at most. Era hung her head. It's fine. I don't have power or influence. I can't fight them. At least now I see the Quan family for who they are. Khloe's foot is almost healed. I'm going to take her back to our town. It's too dangerous here. I don't want her to get hurt. Ethan shook his head. Your house in town. The Quan family already sold it. What? That's my house. How could they be so cruel? Era was stunned, her hands clenching into fists. They had gone too far. Ethan took a sip of tea. Era, you and Khloe should stay with me for now. I'll have people protect you. Once things quiet down, I'll help you find a way to leave. Era asked softly, Brother, why is your relationship with the family so strained? It was something she had been wondering. Ethan was the eldest son, yet he had consistently sided with her. Ethan raised an eyebrow. They're dirty. I don't like it. My father only cares about profit. My mother has a lover on the side. And my sister Iris is a schemer who loves to play the victim. Bright smile spread across Khloe's face. They sold my house. And the guy only got a month in jail. I'm not going to let you get away with this. Meanwhile, the Quan family was in chaos. We never should have brought her back. Mrs. Quan glanced at her hypocritical husband, her still beautiful face filled with disdain. I was the one who suggested bringing Era back, but you didn't object. Now that the plan has failed, you're blaming me. Besides, the Lee family was never the best choice for an alliance. We could try for the Song family. Iris is interested in Aiden's Song after all. Mr. Kwan's interest was piqued. Mr. Song, how is that possible? Just then, the butler rushed in. Madam, sir, bad news. The internet is suddenly flooded with scandals about the Lee group. It's being reported that Mr. Lee has been arrested for 18 crimes, including bribery, embezzlement, and abuse of power. The couple stared in shock. The Quan and Lee families had extensive business dealings. If something happened to the Lee family, the Quan family's business would undoubtedly suffer. Mrs. Quan was furious. Then why haven't you contacted our people to get these negative stories taken down? The butler wrung his hands, looking helpless. There's too much information. It's impossible to delete it all. Find out who leaked this. Mrs. Quan fumed. Mr. Quan's eyes glinted coldly. It's no use finding the source now. The fact that the TV stations are reporting it means someone powerful is involved. Mrs. Quan, call a board meeting immediately. We need to cut our ties with the Lee family and distance ourselves completely. Mrs. Quan found it strange. Mr. Lee had just crossed, and now the Lee family was being hit with massive scandal. Was someone defending Era? Impossible. Era had no background or influence aside from Ethan. It had to be a coincidence. Mr. Lee was probably just too arrogant and made other enemies who decided to strike now. At the Chong family estate in Vidya, the scent of coffee filled the air. Kai stood with his arms crossed, his handsome eyes narrowed in thought. The high-end computer in front of him was working furiously, trying to trace an IP address. That special informant had appeared again. Shortly after, the internet was flooded with internal documents from the Lee family. After dumping the massive amount of information, the informant vanished. Kai had tried to track them immediately, but could only briefly pinpoint the area where the IP had appeared. The last time the IP address he tracked was in a small, peaceful town, the same town where Era lived. Was it her again? Hai couldn't figure it out. An image of Era appeared in his mind. A slender, gentle, fragile woman. No matter how he looked at her, he couldn't see the cunning shadow of the other person. Was her acting just that good? That person wasn't just a top hacker. They were also a master disguise. Before he was transmigrated, he had tracked them for years, always believing they were a man. It was only after a fateful night that Kai was shocked to discover she had been cross-dressing the entire time. He looked down, lost in thought, and took a sip of his cold coffee. Just then, his assistant spoke up. Young master, it seems Kale Chong is making moves again. He might be targeting you. Hai's eyes narrowed. Find some people. and teach him a lesson he won't forget. The assistant's face lit up. Ever since the kidnapping years ago, the young master had become a completely different person, decisive and ruthless, putting all the disobedient members of the clan in their place. He was amazing. I didn't think there'd be a firewall this good in this world. I almost got caught, Khloe said in the small apartment, rubbing her nose. She stretched and closed her laptop. With the Lee family taken down, the Quan family probably wouldn't dare to try anything for a while. Era would have some peace and quiet. But a few days later, Khloe was sent to an ordinary kindergarten. I need a very cute student to answer. What is 3 plus 2? The student who answers correctly will get a little red flower. The teacher, Ms. Lee, announced. The kids in the class erupted, waving their hands in the air, hoping to be picked. Ms. Lee smiled at the lively children, her eyes landing on Khloe. She was a new girl, fair-skinned and adorable, but a little quiet. Let's ask our cutest Khloe to answer the question. What is 3 plus 2? Khloe kept a straight face. I want to grow up so badly. You can do it, Khloe. You'll get it. Her desk mate, a chubby 5-year-old boy, whispered, pumping his fist in encouragement. Are you platoon of 5? Khloe answered. Ms. Lee's face lit up with an exaggerated expression. That's correct. Khloe is so smart. A little red flower for Khloe. Everyone, let's clap for her. Wow, Khloe, you're so smart, the chubby boy said, his face full of admiration. Every day at kindergarten was torture. Finally, the weekend arrived. Khloe slept in until 10 a.m. Era had left a note by her bed saying she had an emergency meeting at work and that a babysitter would come to make lunch, reminding Khloe not to wander off. Only little kids wander off. Khloe hopped out of bed and was about to go downstairs when she heard a noise from one of the rooms. She toddled over, pushed open the slightly ajar door, and asked curiously, "Who's in there? Is that my auntie?" The tall gaming chair swiveled around, and the noodles in the young man's mouth fell back into the instant ramen cup. He had curly light brown hair and looked to be about 17 or 18. He put down the cup and rushed over. Ethan wasn't lying. His niece really is adorable, like a little kitten. If I'd known you were this cute, I would have skipped the streamer convention and come to see you sooner. The young man was clearly a chatterbox, words spilling out of him the moment he saw Khloe. Khloe rubbed her ears. This guy is so loud. I'm hungry.